What's up, guys? It's Max Glassberg here with Glasscast. And it's been a while, but we're getting back into it. Got a basketball player here, Gio Panzini. Let's get it going. Introduce yourself.
Oh, it's good, guys. I'm Gio Panzini. I'm a senior at St. Rose, and I'm committed to play basketball at Cornell University.
Yes, sir. First question we got today is what chose you to go to Cornell, and like how the recruiting process go for you, and overall, like how'd it go?
Well, usually with basketball, you start hearing from schools like sophomore year, and which I did. Coaches would reach out, ask for my transcripts, text me, call me, whatever, and then it picks up more and more as you get older and closer to the decision times. So after my senior year of high school ball, I still didn't have any offers, but coaches would be reaching out and stuff, and my high school coach would be in contact with a bunch of coaches. And once I got a call from Cornell, one of the assistants, he was like, "Hey, like we got a spot, we're gonna offer you," and I pretty much accepted it immediately because
Ivy League, bro.
yeah, like both my parents went to Ivy League schools, so they really value that education part. And so when I got that, they were like, "You're gonna take this," and I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna take this."
Totally, bro. So you went to RBC. Now you go to St. Rose. That was like big change because your brothers went to RBC, and then you decided to change. So what led you to do that decision?
Well, I mean, some of it was it just being a lot closer to my house. I mean, RBC, it was a 30-minute drive there, a 30-minute drive back every single day, and that was tough. It was, and I was also just looking for like a change in like school and like basketball wise too, because I knew the coach Lynch was a really good coach, and I was like, all right, let's see what we can get from there, because he's probably got a lot of connections like college wise. So I talked to him, and like pretty much just I was like, all right, I'm coming to St. Rose then.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. And also my family, so like my mom went to St. Rose, and all her brothers and sisters, they went there over like 40 years ago.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so Mr. Joyce, you know Mr. Joyce, obviously,
Yeah.
he taught my mom. Like
My mom too.
Yeah.
Did you take him on walks? Did you ever talk about that?
I don't know, but yeah, no, they would she'd be like, "Is Mr. Joyce still there?" I'm like, "Yeah, he's still there."
Yeah. He would so my mom would be in class, and Mr. Joyce would get my mom and take her on a walk around the lake. Just take her out of class randomly. And it was the principal or guidance counselor. He sent Mr. Joyce. He's like, let the girl tell the girl like, we got to know if like there's people doing drugs, like who's selling drugs in school. So basically, my mom was like the snitch.
The informant.
They were trying to get information from my mom. And
oh my God.
she was just getting out of class though. So
Yeah.
I would do the same thing if I was her. But,
Yeah.
like Mr. Joyce was he was trying to get some information back then.
That's what I did.
Yeah. So playing at St. Rose, man, it's like the program has never been. I mean, it has been like years and years ago, but past like 10 years ever since you came and like we started building around with Brian Lynch, it's never been like a good basketball school or athletic school other than track. And like how's that feel, and like how like the program just completely changed basically? You got all these kids wanting to come to St. Rose. It's the big name. Manasquan was always the number one, and we took them over this year, and it's a program changer, it's a school changer. So like what's like the emotions, like how does that feel just to play for St. Rose?
Yeah, I mean, even just talking about it, like right now, I'm getting chills, because like the atmosphere in that gym when we would be playing was so incredible. Like there'd be sometimes we'd have a cool play, and like I try to be talking to my teammate like this close, and you wouldn't be able to hear him. The gym was just that loud, and our student section, I mean, was one of the best. Like you guys came out and supported every single game, and like we credit like some of our wins like to you guys, like messing up the other team, stuff like that. But just like building the program up, it's really been a cool experience, and like I love my teammates like family. Like I would go to war with my brothers like that. But yeah, it was really cool because like we know we took the first step in winning a couple big games this year, and we know over the next couple of years, the program's going to continue to build and going to get even better.
Yeah. So one of the coolest things you probably did in your high school was you played against Montverde Academy, and you guarded Cooper Flag, right?
Yeah.
I mean, number one player in the country, committed to Duke. Like, there's so many guys on this team. How was playing that game? There's so many things you could say about it, I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a really cool experience because that gym was packed. It was at Franklin High School, and that literally was like thousands of people. And the gym was filled. There was like standing room only at some spots. But, I mean, just playing again against like all those players, not even just Cooper, but I mean, Derek Queen's going to Maryland. Where's Liam McNeely going? Did he commit yet?
No, I don't know.
Or is he going to? I forget. But Liam McNeely, I mean, he was committed to Indiana. The other dudes, I'm pretty sure, going to LSU. Like, all those dudes, like, it really set the tone in my mind for, like, all right, this is how, like, the next level is going to be. And if I want to play at the next level, I got to really, like, obviously work on my craft. But then, like, I got to, like, just dig deep. And it's, like, about want. Like,
yeah.
Because, I mean, I love playing defense. Like, when your offense isn't working, you can always fall back on your defense, which is what I love. And, like, I take it, like, personal, and, like, if someone scores on me, like, then I'll get pissed. I'll be like, okay, like, they're not going to score on me the rest of the game, or else, like,
yeah.
I'm going to be really pissed. But, I mean, playing against those dudes, it was really cool. It was a really cool experience, and not many people get to say they did that, but, I mean, I can now.
Yeah. One thing I think you really do well on the court is if you have, like, a bad offensive drive or something, you would always rely on your defense, and you wouldn't let anything stick in your head, and you'd always go to the next play.
Yeah, I mean, when I was younger, that was a big, almost fault I had. I would always be like, damn, like, I just missed a shot, and then I would let it affect my next play. But, like, recently I just noticed, like, it's just who cares? There's so many possessions in a basketball game that if you mess up once, like, the odds of that specific play affecting the outcome of the game, there's obviously still a chance, but it's just like, all right, it's one play. Like, there's going to be 96 other plays that are going to help, like, where I can help my team win this game. And, like, I credit a lot of defensive stuff to Pat Lynch, one of our coaches. He was, like, the defensive guy.
Yeah.
But, yeah, he would just always be like, guys, like, I don't care if we score 100 points or 20 points. Like, we can win games by just holding teams to under 30 points. I mean, and that's what we did some games. We would just suffocate teams with our defense, and they just didn't know what to do. Like, in our state championship game, they scored, what was it, like 20 or 30-something points, and, like, we blew them out the gym. Our short conference championship, we held them to, like, 29 points. Like, so we knew, like, even if our whole team couldn't score, just, like, a couple people couldn't score, like, we could always fall back on our defense. We'd be like, all right, we're going to lock these dudes up, and they're not going to have a chance. Mm-hmm. So, which, it's always fun. And, like, obviously it helps being, like, bigger and stronger, more athletic. Like, Matt's 6'8", Jay's 6'5", I'm 6'5", Brian's, like, 6'3", Evan's, like, 6'3". Like, and we all have pretty long wingspans, so it's easier in that aspect when you can, like, okay, I can pressure up more because I know Matt's on the backside, and if someone goes up, he's going to go up and either block the shot or contest it strong enough where they have to change their shot and most likely miss. And
yeah.
I mean, I hope my teammates felt that same way about me.
Yeah.
I was out there blocking stuff too. But yeah, it's always been like that defense, and we always knew we could fall back on that.
It's great, yeah. Because, I mean, watching the games, I would always see you, and, like, you guys feel like you have everything programmed. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially on a fast break, I'll see you're cutting on the wing, and then you just come in, you get a dunk, something like that. Yeah. Even on defensively, you guys get a turnover, you're running back, nice block, like, and your guys' practice is, I feel like, legit, and it really, like, the expectation is to be ready, and you're ready for every game, I feel like.
Yeah, like, our style of play was, first off, it was just like, all right, we're going to learn our defense because we do our defense, and, like, or one of our first scrimmages, he was like, guys, we didn't work on any offense, but what we did work on was our defense and just getting out and just run. So just go have fun, like, do fast breaks, like, throw lobs. Like, we got people that can jump, we got people that can throw good passes. Like, just go out there and, like, just have fun. That was realistically it. But when we would do our practices, like, I don't know if I can curse, but like that shit got intense. Like, we'd be like, there were so many dudes that go like our practice. Like, I would be guarding Matt, and like I would start chirping Matt and be like, yeah, like we're in here, dude. Like,
Yeah,
we're gonna, and it'd be fun because each team was like relatively fair, and so when we did our practices, it got competitive and it got heated. And like, yeah, sometimes people would like fight, but I mean, we knew after practice, like, it'd be like, okay, we're still a team. Like, it's one thing on the court, but off the court, we're still brothers, and like, that's gonna help us win these bigger games. Which was it was always fun doing that.
Yeah, having a program like that, I think people like don't understand it because so many guys go in there to just get through the motions, and you're not pushing your teammates. People kind of focus on themselves, but when you're like going up, everyone's going as hard as they can, pushing each other. I feel like that's when you make the most growth, and you actually can play as a team after that.
Yeah, I mean, and everybody on our team, I mean, we hated to lose. So whether that was either in a game or in practice doing like shooting competitions or 3-on-3, 4-on-4, 5-on-5, like everybody hated to lose. So like when you lost, it was like, I gotta get it back like on the next game or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was always fun, like pushing each other. Like Matt's obviously going to Villanova, so he's a high level basketball player. But I loved competing against him because I know if I could run with him, I could run with a bunch of guys at the next level. Yeah. Because he's
totally.
He's nice. Like I'm not gonna lie.
No, I got you. Another thing is like your connection with a couple of guys, Evan. Mm-hmm. I feel like you guys. He's always dropping you dimes. You're always giving him a nice spot up on the wing. It's like how does that work in like? I feel like you guys like work on that, or what is it?
Yeah, I mean, it obviously starts on the court, like whether that's in practice and we're like talking to each other, like, oh, yo, you had me on the wing, like, or you had me cutting there, like, throw that up, or whether it's in the gym after practice, like, yo, dude, let's just get shots up, or whether we're just like hanging out on a Saturday, Friday night, like, and we're just like chilling, relaxing, like we always like build that trust with each other, and that's what it's like. And then it obviously translates on the court because he knows next time, okay, I missed him in practice, like cut one time, he's gonna be there in the game, and we're gonna get an easy bucket from that. Or he missed me on the extra one time, but he knows I'm gonna hit him next time. Like it's a lot of trust.
Yeah.
It's a lot that you have to build up, but once you get it there, the chemistry, and not just with him, but with the entire team, really can just click. And I think everybody saw that like this year when we, only lost like 2 games.
Yeah, totally. So Cornell obviously super academic school.
Yeah.
What are you expecting for that?
Well, I mean, I'm just gonna go there and like obviously feel it out the first couple weeks, but I think I can handle it. Like I'm very academic based. I always have been my whole life. Like, because my parents were always on me. Like, you got to get good grades and like use basketball to help set you up at a great college, and then that'll set you up for the rest of your life. Like, so when I got into Cornell, obviously knew it was gonna be a challenge, but I think I can handle it. Just with all the academics and talking with some of the guys when I went up to visit, they're like, you can do it. It's not, you can balance basketball and an academic life and still have a social life.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, but it's obviously a big change from high school to college because of all the time management, all the not lack of classes, but high school, it's you're here from 8 to 2, but college is like, all right, you got a class from 10 to 11, have a 2-hour break, and then got a class at like 3. So it's different, but they're like, it's not gonna rock your world. It's gonna be pretty simple.
Totally, yeah. So we talked about a lot of the highlights, but I know you had a little injury in the fall, right?
Yeah, so it was in the spring of last year. I partially tore my ACL and then had a bone bruise. So I did it during AAU. It sucked, but and so that happened. I got an MRI. I was like, because when I went to the doctor, he's like, it's probably an ACL. I don't think it's completely torn, but you never know. Like, you might still need to get surgery. I was like,
yeah.
And like I was like that. I was sad. Like, I was mad.
Yeah.
I was pissed. Like, I just did it during a game. I just like tweaked it. And I was like, oh my god. Like, if this ends my the rest of my AAU season and goes into my high school season, my senior season, that really sucked. But I got the MRI, and when we looked at it with the doctor, he was like, "Good news, it's only a grade 1 tear, so I didn't need surgery." But I mean, I was still out for a while, probably like 6 weeks, 7 weeks.
Yeah.
And during that time, I was just rehabbing my knee and letting it heal because the bone bruise was like what was making it hurt. So because the injury I did, I hyperextended my knee like when I was closing out, and so my knee went like that when it's not supposed to go back. And so the bone bruise was caused from when the two bones hit, and then so I had a bruise in my knee, and then it obviously partially tore my ACL, but that was. It could have been a lot worse, but that was a lot better than what it was. And then so I did PT and rehabbed that and got all the muscles around my knee stronger. The bone bruise healed. And then when I went back to playing, it was the summer AAU. I had to wear a brace, and it didn't really affect me at first. I was like, oh, I'm fine. Like, it's whatever. But then I could slowly like see, I was like, all right, I'm not myself while wearing this brace and playing with this brace. And so as soon as I took it off, which was in like August, and then I went to a college camp. I went to Colgate's camp, and I didn't have to play with the brace. Cooked. I was frying dudes at the camp. Like, I was back to be my old self. Like, I was dunking stuff, blocking stuff off the backboard, hitting threes. I was doing like everything I normally used to do, and I was like, all right, like I'm back. But when I was in that AAU season, while wearing the brace for the summer, college coaches would see me and be like, oh, like he's in a brace, and like I didn't play well at all. So I was like, I'm basically hurting my stock. And so the whole goal of this high school season was obviously to win a bunch of stuff as like a team or whatever. But like personally, it was like, all right, I got to show all these coaches that I'm back to normal. I'm back to being my old self. So they would come and offer me. And me and Lynch both knew that. My parents knew that. And I went out and just did what I did, and it all worked out.
Yeah. So I got labrum surgery on my shoulder, and I was out cold like 3 months. My bed, nothing, and like taking that time off from injury, bro. I was so hard.
Oh my god, it was honestly unbearable because working out every day, playing almost every day, and then you're like, all right, this is my life. And when someone takes that away, it's like, not someone, but something takes that away. It's like, oh my god, like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
question a lot of things.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I had so much time by myself, and like I couldn't do anything. And like I have a routine every day. I'm always hitting. I'm always working out, and like I couldn't do that. So it really threw me off.
Yeah.
And I feel like people don't realize like how like important this like things they are until they get injured or until like they hang up the cleats or whatever they're doing.
Like, you don't know what you have until it's gone.
Yeah.
And like thankfully with mine, obviously it was I shouldn't say only, but like only 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So I was back and playing eventually, but like during that 6 weeks, I was like, oh my god, like all I wanted to do was play. Like I was just like, please, totally. Like I like every checkup I went to the doctor, I was like, can I play it? And he was like, no, like I wouldn't. And I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna listen to my doctor, obviously, because he knows what's best. But it was tough. It really was.
Yeah. So development, like when you were younger, what do you think helped you just to become better basketball player? Like athletically, all that. What do you think was the biggest thing?
I mean, a couple of things. One being like me playing multiple sports. I played football my freshman year. I used to play baseball a lot. But just having that like variety, because each sport like not focuses, but almost focuses on a different thing. Like,
oh, totally.
Baseball's like a lot of like hand-eye coordination, like hitting the ball and like different movements, and football's like getting hit and like you got to get back up. It's being tough. And basketball's like you got to like be quick on your feet, and like everything really is all the different stuff. And so playing multiple different sports and having to juggle like all the athletics was like, okay, it's gonna help me running routes in the football field helps me cut better on the basketball court. So it all correlates. But that was definitely something. And another thing was just like my brothers like kicking the shit out of me every day. Like, because I like to basically base my basketball personality off of being tough, and like them just beating me up all the time was like, all right, if I can handle this, I'm gonna go onto the court and like someone lays me out, like I'm just gonna get back up. It's not gonna phase me. But that and just like always working out. Like working out every day was so important. Like obviously you need your rest days. Like if your body's not there, you know your body better than everyone. You got to take your days off. But whether it's like working on your dribble every day or shooting every day, like it was always something. And even if I was in a different season, like I'd be in baseball season, I would still always find time to work out basketball.
Yeah.
Because I knew that's what I wanted to do when at the next level, because it's just, I love the game. It's so fun. Like it's so fast paced, and like we were talking about before, it's like you make a mistake, it's just boom, you got to get over it and get on to the next thing. So yeah, I just love basketball.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, your whole family's like, you got a bunch of beasts, man.
Yeah.
So they put it every day, probably playing something all the time, right?
Yeah, whether that was like a real sport, like we'd play wiffle ball in our backyard. And that would get competitive. Or there was one game in my old house we would play. So there was just a mattress in the basement. And like we would put the mattress up vertically against the wall like this. And there was a football. You started on the ground and you had to get the football on top of the mattress and like place it there. But meanwhile, the three other dudes were just like tackling you and like throwing you down to the ground and trying to get the ball like up there. It's like kill the man with the ball. But that was like we would just make up games like, and it was fun. And then, like during COVID, when COVID hit, we got that ping pong ball table over there, we would just play ping pong for hours and hours and hours. And like my parents would come down and start playing, and a lot of the time we would start fights because I mean we're all so competitive. But
totally,
it really like brought us closer, and then like just helped us be really competitive and develop more.
Yeah. What do you think you're gonna major in college?
Business.
Yeah. Like that?
Yeah, because like I took macroeconomics this year.
Yeah.
Which was really cool, but yeah, business something. Just like, because like both my parents are lawyers. My one brother just passed the bar. My other brother's in law school, and I just don't. That's just too much extra school and like work.
Growing up as a kid, I know I did it all the time, and like I would always just look up to those guys. Even playing at Monmouth, I would go to a bunch of games at Monmouth, and I thought it was like the coolest thing ever to play college basketball and have the opportunity to play in March Madness and watching all those games. I've been to games. Like the atmosphere is crazy. So, what's that like for you? To you have the opportunity to actually play in these crazy games.
Yeah, I mean, like you, obviously, I just grew up like dreaming about playing in March Madness. I'm like, that looks sick. Like, I don't care if I'm a 2 seed playing against, or I don't care if I'm a 15 seed playing against the 2 seed. Like, and just playing in that atmosphere and playing in March Madness and have millions of people watching your game. Like, it just looked so fun and it looked insane. And if you are skilled enough and to beat like a huge upset, like that would be the dream, and like your life could change like instantly. But just like that was honestly one of the main reasons why I wanted to play Division I basketball, because I was like, playing in March Madness would be insane. Like people would be making brackets with my team in it, and like who knows, they might have my team upsetting like this team. Totally, like that would be so cool. But yeah, just. And like I'm getting like all giddy just and like smiling talking about it, because granted, like I think the only way I would be able to play in it is if we win the Ivy champs at Cornell, because it's like all the strength schedule and like all the team stuff. I totally get that. But like if you win your bid and then like for a fact you're going there, like that's one of the coolest feelings ever.
Selection Sunday.
Yeah.
They get the video of the team. That's awesome. I love that. I love watching that.
I know. They're like, yeah.
Yeah. They get so excited. Yeah. So obviously the new thing is like people back then, like people don't work out. They just play their sport every day for hours and hours and hours. But like new technology, like just the new kids, everyone's like working out all the time. So what's that schedule for you, and how do you approach working out?
Yeah, so I mean, lift wise, I lift 3 days a week at this place in Tinton Falls, Ripped, and the guy who runs it, Bobby, is a really great guy, really knowledgeable, and he actually lives in Spring Lake, which is where I'm from. But yeah, dude, he knows everything, and it's not just about like lifting heavy weight there. It's a lot of like Olympic lifts. So like you can clean, we front squat, we bench press, we deadlift a little bit. But a lot of the stuff before we even get to lifting is like lasts like an hour and a half. And lots of the first 45 minutes are usually like running, learning how to run and like getting explosive and like some lateral movement and like flipping your hips and like stuff like that. So it's really like builds you up from the ground up. And some of it's also like injury prevention stuff too.
Yeah,
so like we do like plyometrics, and that I think has helped me a lot with like my athleticism and
balance, all that.
yeah. So it's really been working out with Bobby and like that whole program has really changed my body and like my athleticism. And I've been going there for a couple seasons now, because I think I started there my sophomore year, maybe the end of my freshman year. But it's really good. I love it there.
Yeah, totally. I probably didn't tell you this, but I go to a personal trainer, and he was the trainer on the Nets, and he trained USA Olympic team.
Really?
Yeah, Rich Delatry, you know him?
Maybe I've heard the name.
Yeah, so the stuff I do there is like, I start off doing like a bunch of foam rolling, all that. But we do like a lot of movement. And before that, when I would lift, because I would lift by myself at a gym, and I thought it was like you just have to lift a like heavy weight, and like it's not really about like being fat. It's just like just getting it up and like building your muscle. But like doing this explosive stuff, doing all this footwork, balance, like you think it's stupid until you see the results.
Yeah.
And it's like it's way different.
And it's all the stuff the professional guys are doing. Like,
yeah, totally.
And you'll be like, you'll see on like Instagram, and like, dude, like, what's he doing? But then it like helps, like he's like standing on one foot, like throwing a ball, but that helps because it helps with his balance, helps with his like arm motion, or whatever. Like, it people don't realize it until they actually do it and like start seeing the results.
Totally, because I don't know if you've heard of Pilates, right?
Yeah.
So I do Pilates. Yeah. I do this Pilates machine. Yeah. Bro, my hips are cooked every time. Because like I do like a circle. And so this is what I do. Ready? I'm laying down, and then I have like something attached to my like both like the end of my legs, like on my ankle, and I'll do like up and down like V's, and I'll do like circles and all this stuff. And like, dude, my hips, I feel like they get so opened up.
Yeah,
it's crazy. And we do a lot of balance stuff there, like quick sprinting. And like the main thing he preaches is like you have to be fast to train fast.
Yeah.
Like you have to train fast to be fast. Said it wrong, but yeah, I think that's like super important because people get it wrong all the time.
Yeah, and like there's like weeks where we'll have reload weeks. So like you'll be lifting heavy, and then like you give your body a rest this week, and instead of benching 185, you just do 4 sets of all like 135s. Just to, like make sure you keep moving that weight fast, and like give your body a rest. And like a lot of people don't realize how important rest is. Like totally. I love working out every day, but eventually your body does need like a break. It's not just it's not a robot. You have to know your body, and you have to be like, okay, today I'm gonna have a day off because I don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, and something like about high school, I think different, like playing sports in high school. I think it's just so different than even like AAU and all that because. It's like an everyday grind, and it's like a short season. The season's not long.
Yeah,
you're playing,
especially in New Jersey.
You're playing how many games a week usually?
3, sometimes 4.
Three or 4. Like that's a lot. And like in college, obviously you're gonna play a lot, but like the training and like the physical therapy is better and like all that. And like I feel like in high school you're just thrown into all these games.
Yeah,
and you just have to like the grind is crazy. All right, so a lot of good information today, but one big question I think is. If there's a kid that wants to play Division I basketball, wants to, be able to play like St. Rose, win a state championship, start in high school at a good program, like what's your best advice?
With college, I mean, it's just patience. Like patience is a virtue. That's something I lived by a lot, and like just with the whole recruiting process, like it takes a lot longer now for especially like people like me. Like obviously, if you're like a 5-star, like you're gonna get. Looks, you're gonna get offers, but like for like the people who are like on the verge, it's like you got to be patient and you got to trust in yourself, and you have to be like, okay, I know I can play at the next one, I know I'm gonna get something, but I just have to wait it out and keep grinding. And almost keep a low profile and just like do your own stuff. And then when people see you play, they'll be like, wow, like that kid's a Division I basketball player. And just like patience. Like that's like the one thing. If I had to give this advice to someone, just patience.
Yeah, totally. Because I mean, you going into like your senior year, you didn't even commit, and like most kids, I feel like in their senior season, like they're committed, but you didn't commit until after the season.
Yeah.
So that was like you saying like patience is a virtue, like using it like that like all the time. I feel like some kids would like not be able to, like they would just be pissed off. They didn't get an offer.
I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. It's tough, like, because I'd be sitting there, I'm like, damn, like when am I gonna get like an offer? Like, what if I don't get an offer? Like, it was tough, and like I was like stressed. I would stress out, like my parents would stress out, but I would always go back to the fact I was like, I trust myself, I trust my coaches, I trust my team. Like, I know I'm gonna get one. It's all that time. And towards the end of the season, I realized that I was like, I'm gonna get one. Like, and like I would just keep thinking, I was like, I'm gonna get one, and I did, and it all worked out.
Yeah, totally. Like if you think it, it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
If you really like believe in yourself and like take the time to work on it, because I mean, it's hard, man, when you're not committed, and like people are like saying stuff in your face, like, oh, have you had an offer yet? Do you commit yet? Yeah,
the amount of times I've gotten asked like, oh, when are you gonna commit, or like, oh, like, do you have any offers? And I have to be like, no, like, I don't know yet, like stuff like that. And it would get annoying, but the kids weren't like most of them weren't trying to be like mean about it. They would just be like, oh, like, when are you gonna commit? I'd be like, yeah, I don't know yet. Like,
totally, yeah,
this is what it is.
Yeah, right thing will happen. Just gotta take time.
Yeah.
All right, you got anything to send them off with, or?
Let's go St. Rose.
Let's go St. Rose. See you guys.